In the 2020s, a pandemic crippled the world. Some panicked, some denied it. These two guys stayed home, drank, and watched movies. These are the Jaymeson tapes.
Okay, I'm looking at the list. Next is the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could skip it though.
We can put it off for one more.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Also do a Boilermaker.
Yeah, let's sink them and drink them. Oh.
Mine was Forebeard Irish Red and the very, very last of the Conor McGregor Irish whiskey I had.
Mine was a mango cart and scotch, which actually was not terrible. I would have done rum, because mango cart is rather fruity. Did not have any rum. But honestly, it was not that terrible. I wouldn't say, yeah, make this a drink, but whatever.
Cool. Hey everyone. Welcome to the Jaymeson tapes.
Welcome back.
I am Alan. I am one of the co-hosts.
I am Abysmii. I am the other co-host.
And aside from the Boilermaker I just had, I'm nursing my third very strong rum and coke. The rum is Bumbu XO, which I highly recommend.
Is that a white rum or a dark rum?
That's a dark rum.
Okay. I'm on my third...
dark Caribbean rum.
Nice. I'm on my third mango cart, because I just bought a 6er mango cart, had 3 of them yesterday, having the rest 3 today. Okay.
I'm feeling decently toasty right now, if
I'm feeling good.
Honest.
Feeling good.
And we also just watched a movie.
We did. One that we
watched a movie that I have a lot of conflicting feelings about.
Me too. It's the good type of conflicting feelings, but it's very, very discussion worthy. This is a movie that neither of us have seen before.
Yes. And this movie was called The Last Shift. It is from 2015. And I knew absolutely dick about this movie going into it.
All I knew about it, the only reason I even know about it and suggested it, was Red Letter Media was doing a review of something, not of this movie. They just randomly said, oh, also, there's this movie called The Last Shift that you should go check out. And it was tangential. And I saw that and went, oh, that actually sounds kind of fun. And that was years ago. I just, I keep bringing this movie and then not watching it, and this podcast is a perfect opportunity to watch it. So yeah, that's how we came about this.
So let's just get into it then, I guess.
This is it's a psychological horror.
Yes, and you and I both brought up Silent Hill a few times while we were watching it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Super Silent Hill vibes from the whole thing in general.
And this is like 2015, so Silent Hill has not really... Did anything big come out regarding Silent Hill in 2015? I don't think so.
I don't know. Not that I can think of. I think we were in post Silent Hill years at the time.
Yeah.
It sucks being in those years, everybody.
They're not coming back. Oh.
Fuck you, Konami. Fuck you so much, Konami.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we start off with our protagonist, who, in a change for the show, is really fucking likable.
Yeah.
It is. A likable protagonist in a horror movie is rare.
Yeah, and I think only psychological horrors can really get away with this. Even if you make all the right, understandable decisions, it's still not enough to survive it in one way or another. But that's definitely what we get here.
Yeah. So our main character is Officer Lauren, who is a rookie cop, and they are working the final shift at a police station that is going to be closed down.
It's a final shift, but it's literally her first shift. She is fresh out the academy. How dare you, movie? Call yourself the last shift and then say it's the first shift. Don't foreshadow that to me.
And she's on the phone with her mom to start out the film, and her mom's basically, I don't know why you're doing this, you have nothing to prove, blah, 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 trying to talk her out of it. Mm-hmm. And she is indignant to the protests of her mother. Yeah. Then she goes into the old station and meets the best character in the movie. Let's talk about Sergeant Cohen.
Oh, Sergeant Cohen.
So she walks into the station, and There's just a dude in there we can't see because he's in the back of the room. He's just fighting the lockers.
And just screaming obscenities.
Screaming obscenities and fighting the lockers. And then he tells her to turn around when she notices him. She turns around and starts to walk away. He's just, I didn't say walk away, I just said turn around. Officer Simon says. Turns around, but I didn't say Simon says.
You're at a red light.
Everything with Officer Cohen here is fucking gold.
She is so eager. You can tell she is very, she wanted to become a cop. And everything, you know, that a cop is supposed to be. And he is just on the opposite spectrum of, I've been doing this for 40 years. I am sick of everyone's shit. And I don't even know you, and I'm sick of your shit. And just, you know, kind of just eyes her up and down and just takes inventory and goes, oh boy, okay. Yeah, your job is to watch this place from 10 to 4, 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. She says, well, why is that? Well, because come with me. This is the hazmat room. There's enough shit in here to make Chernobyl look like fucking bird shit stain on a window. And then says, nah, I'm fucking with you.
And all the criminals in the city, want to get into this room, and you're the only person standing in there. I'm fucking with you. What the fuck?
That was good.
I hope this guy's not just leaving, because he's my favorite.
I know. He's great. And it got us. We weren't sure if this movie's tone quite yet, but it totally got us. And we're like, okay, well, Cohen.
Yeah.
And says, you know, okay, yeah,
the best.
Don't leave here. You need to be here between 10 and 4 until Bio Hazmat comes by. Here's my number. Call me if you need me. Bye. And he just fucks off.
Just fucking splits.
It's great.
So yeah, the important thing is this police station is literally hours away from being closed down entirely.
And it looks
so there is a phone, but she is told the phone's just for show. Any and all calls will be redirected to the new station, which is already open.
Yeah.
So yeah, she is promised a boring night at this station.
And if you've ever in your life done an overnight shift anywhere, you kind of know what to expect. I will say, I said early on, this really reminds me of when I used to have to watch my dad's warehouse when I was a lot younger, because I used to work for him. It looks so similar. It's got the same doors. It's got these white walls. There's exposed wiring. It's just your industrial office unit. It's fucking depressing. There's fucking really harsh luminescent lights.
Work a job where occasionally I have to work overnights, and let me tell you how overnight shift works. I watch YouTube videos for 8 hours.
I rewatched pretty much all of Dario one time when I had to do this. It's you're sitting at the front desk, and occasionally someone comes by that should not be there, and you're, please go away. That's all that happens.
What are you doing here?
I need a pen. Why?
You're not Daria.
You're not Daria. I know Daria. I've been watching her. But yeah, so supposed to be uneventful.
In keeping with this being boring, we get Officer Lauren reading a book.
Reading her training manual.
Oh no, it's a woman suddenly reading a book again.
Oh shit. Quick, is this A24?
Yeah, she reads her training manual, and this is a thing that pops out throughout the film. She's a rookie. She seems really dedicated to the job. She is constantly quoting bits of the training manual to herself.
Of her officer's oath that you take after when you graduate, I think.
So yeah, they stress how boring the job is, and they do a good job setting it up. There's a point where she's just staring at a light that is blinking out.
Because that's the only thing making noise in the whole building is a fluorescent light just going in and out, in and out, in and out.
So we get a good minute or so of her just staring at a blinking light. And yep, overnight shifts. Right?
I think at that point we're back in an A24 film.
Yeah. So then Lauren receives a call at the phone that is not supposed to ring, and on the other line of the call seems to be a woman who is just
having a gay old
very
time,
much in distress. Yeah, no, not that, not having a fun time, and apparently is worried about dying very much.
And that's literally all we get before the call disconnects.
That's literally all we get on the first call. So then I think she calls There, she calls the police station
The active one,
and
yeah.
is, "Hey, I thought I wasn't supposed to be getting any calls." And they're, "You're not. Your line's not connected to get any calls." And she's, "Well, I got a call. Huh? That's weird. Anyway."
Bye.
So then Officer Lauren is eating a sandwich, and then we're really concerned about us being in an A24 movie.
Yeah. Oh, fuck me. Slow pan over to her in the break room eating a sandwich. And then it goes from we're worried about it being an
But
A24 film to we're worried about it being The Ring from 2002.
yeah, because she takes a bite of the sandwich, and we get the shot of her like realizing she bit into something weird, and then pulling a long hair out of her mouth.
Yep, that scariest thing. Slow pans of people eating sandwiches. Oh, are we gonna do it? We gonna do it? Yep.
Also, like the Ring movie.
Yeah. When did The Ring come out?
Say early 2000s.
Yeah, it could have been even like '01 or something, but it just informed so much. People gotta stop lifting from that movie. And I will say,
Yeah.
if you've ever done that, it's visceral, it's gross. No one wants to bite into a bunch of human hair. But The Ring has done these things. And when the American Ring came out, I know, and obviously the Japanese Ringu is also really good, but the American Ring had so much visual imagery that has informed most horror movies that came after it. To this day, they're still doing this. And this is just a call out to Hollywood. Stop copying The Ring. Come up with something new, please. Because it's not working anymore.
No, there's this weird thing about The Ring, where The Ring is where I, as a teenager, got back into horror.
Same.
I look back fondly on the movie for that reason, but also it doesn't hold up as well as I thought it would.
No, I mean, and it's a remake, and the grainy footage is fine. That's the strong part of the movie. The rest of it's just Ringu, essentially. But yeah, just stop copying The Ring. Stop copying Jacob's Ladder, which this movie does as well. Yeah. Just stop.
Oh, Jacob's Ladder for sure. Everyone's fucking stop.
Yeah, stop.
Everyone. Ooh, I could. Man,
anyway.
I feel we have to move on, but I could talk about this for a long time.
Like I said, this movie is very discussion worthy.
Okay, so yes.
So she eats her sandwich. She throws up her sandwich.
In a sandwich.
Yeah. Then she hears she hears I think it's a ring at the front, and goes to the front, and there's no one there. Leaves, actually exits the building, and then turns around. This is an important point. The doors to the front of the station are glass, but they are also very dirty. The set design in this movie is very, very on point. So there's a dark figure on the other side, back in the lobby, that we see. And my first thought is, oh God, it's the Bye-Bye Man. Oh no, it's the Bye-Bye Man.
No!
Get out of this movie!
I was A, the Bye-Bye Man. B, I was super worried when we first saw the first glimpse of the dark figure, and it looked a woman with long hair, and I was, oh, we're just doing The Ring. We're just doing The Ring then.
Yeah.
It was so soon after the hair and the sandwich.
Yeah, but then she walks back in, and it's a homeless man who is peeing on the floor of the lobby of the police station.
He sure is.
Yeah, I know. A cab. That's why I'm peeing in here. And I should say, this building does not really represent a police station. There's a few things in it that would be found in a police precinct, but it's clear now this is like I said, this is my dad's old warehouse that I've literally done overnights in.
It's kind of like abandoned office space and stuff.
Something
like that.
Yeah, but whatever. It works. It's fine. And so he's just pissing on the floor, and she's what I really like about her character is it's never said, but it's definitely shown that she's a rookie, but she is very, 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 very dedicated to it. She goes through all of the by the book procedures, and approaches everything with, I've read the manual backwards and forwards, because she's constantly reading that training manual, and does everything just so procedurally. She says, hey, turn around and face me. Hey, I'm going to tase you. Hey, giving every opportunity for someone to interact with her. And it does the same thing with this dude. It's just this homeless dude peeing on the floor with no shoes.
So, yeah, there's a homeless guy peeing on the floor, and she's, hey, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and just shoves his ass out the door.
shoves him out the door. Then she goes to wash her hands, and I think she finds the homeless guy's shoes at this point.
She goes, well, she gets
At least that's what she thinks.
she gets the mop and bucket to clean up the piss, and when she goes back, I think she hears random more noises. There's a lot of just, she hears a noise off camera and goes to investigate. But yeah, she goes back and finds his shoes and then leaves him outside.
Which I don't think is a point we ever come back to. That's a really weird scene, actually. Now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about it.
It's very
She
weird.
finds what she assumes is the homeless guy's boots, because we do earlier get a clear shot of the homeless guy, his feet, and he's got, you know, a bunch of scabs on his feet and stuff.
Yeah.
He's barefoot.
And it's clear that he's been barefoot for a while.
She assumes the boots she finds belong to the homeless guy, and she just sticks them outside.
And, you know, which is weird. She calls the other station for fucking everything, but doesn't say, hey, there's a homeless dude. Can someone connect me with the appropriate city services to come help him? No, it just shoves his ass outside. I don't want to deal with you. You know, I just thought that I'd bring that up because it is weird. She calls the station for everything, but it's, oh, there's a homeless dude. Not my problem. Shove his ass back out on the street. Whatever. You know.
So then she, and as is most of the plot of this film, investigates another noise.
Yes, there is.
Discovers a bathroom.
Oh god, the bathroom, the black mold bathroom from hell. Really, really bad. That is an assload of black mold. You need to not be in there.
Yeah.
You need to not go in wherever that is.
That's how you end up seeing the bye-bye man.
This is actually, I think this is when the cinematography of this film, for the most part, is really, really good. They do very, very well with cuts. She goes through the bathroom, and then when she exits the bathroom, she ends up in this backrooms-esque locker room, which is very just pale yellow, and goes to locker, Sade has said locker 25, thank you, Sade, and opens it and finds a photo of what we think is her father, because it's a cop with a little girl on his back at a playground, and on the back of it says, you know, love you, cuddle bug, something something, love dad. And that's very heartwarming. And she does this thing where she's going to put it in her back pocket. And my first thought was, no, if you take that with you, that's going to further the plot of this indie video game that I've played 100 times. You need to not do that. And to the movie's credit, she puts it back. And to me, this is very symbolic of, I'm trying not to hold on to the past. I'm trying to be my own person. I'm trying to just be a cop. And we know that she definitely lives in the shadow of her father. And she's, you know, it would not be a stretch of the imagination that she became a cop because her dad was, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But she puts it back. Right. But then we get one of the greatest shots of the film, and it cuts, and all of the lockers are open. No, see, you just triggered like a plot event, and if you take that with you, okay, good. Okay. Smart. Do not take that with you.
Nothing will happen.
Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
I
like this.
Pretty effective shot, actually.
Mm-hmm. Before Paranormal Activity 3 tried to do it.
Yeah. It does a couple shots this way, and it's really effective.
It's really good. It's very eerie. It's not a jump scare. It's just unsettling. And this, I remind everybody, this is before a lot of the Paranormal Activity shit. This is a small film. Actually, I'm gonna look up its budget while we're talking about this, but I did not expect that. It was very, very well done.
Okay, quick aside about Paranormal Activity.
Yes.
We have a local theater in a mall that is now closed. Mm-hmm. We had a local very, very, very independent theater that showed lots of independent stuff, and I went there one day, and there was this dude who was just, hey, come watch my movie that I'm trying to get picked up by Hollywood and shit like that.
I would so be down.
That's how I, before it got a major Hollywood release, got to essentially watch a very early cut of Paranormal Activity.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
You know what?
Just go to theaters with that movie. Yeah.
While we're on the topic, Paranormal Activity, the first one, is a good film. Like, yeah. in my opinion, it's a good film. It's, granted, it got just driven into the ground afterwards because it's a very easy formula to recreate. But the first one is effective. It was new. It was fresh. It was the newest thing done in found footage since the Blair Witch Project, which is just set up, you know, cameras in your house and scary shit happens in the house. You know, say what you want about it. It was new and exciting. And it's so much of it, I don't know why there's a San Diego connection to that film. It's just they filmed in North County and they were like, yeah, we got this nice big ass North County house and we'll hire just random people off the fucking street and do it. And it was a very special small thing for that first movie. But no, I really like Paranormal Activity one. I can't get the budget for this movie for Last Shift. I'm trying to find it because I bet you it's small.
Yeah, probably very, very small.
But they do a lot with it. Sade can't find the budget either. No one knows. Anyway,
Best editor.
Really though, Sade is the best producer editor to have. Okay, so yeah.
From there.
Oh, we get another call from Monica.
Yes, we get a call. We get another phone call from the girl in distress, who sounds very, very distressed about the people trying to kill her. And during this phone call, we get her name, which is Monica. We get her saying she believes she's on a ranch.
Which we decided was the Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yes, which is where they make all the salad dressing. Ooh, but again, I think she calls the police station again here, and they're just, yeah, that's weird.
That's weird. Too bad.
And maybe it was this call or the next call, but at this point, as someone who works a job where I regularly on occasion get to transfer people to the police, I'm just transfer her to the actual police.
Yeah, little bit of a inconsistency
you can transfer
there.
Calls.
But I mean, that's kind of with this movie's internal logic. She would try that, and then it wouldn't work. And we're kind of skipping ahead here, but this I'm gonna make a parallel to the Bye Bye Man here. For everyone who listened to our Bye Bye Man episode, the biggest threat and horror in that film is the building they're in. And in this film, it really, really feels the building, the station, the abandoned station that's being phased out is just fucking with her the entire time.
Yes.
And like if she had tried to transfer, I would 100. And if it just came out to be like, oh, this can't be completed as dialed, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. This building is just fucking with her. I don't usually films where you don't know what's real and what's not real, because a lot of them aren't set up very well. This movie does it very, very well. And I really have to commend it for that. Yeah.
So from there, they get disconnected from Monica. I think the police give her a case, say, okay, we've started a case number for this. You get any more information, reference this case number.
Yeah.
So from there, there's just a bunch of spooky shit happening in the building.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just waiting for the turn to happen so fucking hard.
We're about 20 minutes in. We're okay. This is Act 1's about to end. You got to start ramping up.
Yeah. And to this movie's credit, it has a few turns.
Mm-hmm.
She's still convinced maybe she's seeing stuff. And though in the moment I felt a little frustrated, I kind of dug it.
I appreciate it because she's doing her best to keep her cool, and really just she's trying so hard. You feel throughout this entire movie she is trying so hard to do her job and to not cave in to pressure and expectations and all sorts of things. And I think that's one of the reasons why we really rooted for her as our pro tag. It's just we want you to win. We want your dedication to pay off.
We were on the side of this protagonist so hard.
Yeah, and there's
more so than I think any other film we've watched on this show.
Yes, definitely. There was nothing wrong. I mean, there's some things wrong, but we didn't hate the pro tags and Lamb. But we did want the Grendel to win at the end. It just made sense logically.
Yes. We knew from the jump in Lamb that the main characters in this film were going to be punished for what they were doing. Yeah,
it was fate.
This film, we are on Officer Lauren's side.
Yeah. All right.
If a cab.
So yeah, a lot of spooky shit happens, and I really don't want to go beat by beat because I do want people to watch this movie. So she hears something in the back, the random fucking storage section, and the homeless dude is just up tossing boxes down and just throwing stuff around.
Fucking guy,
buddy.
Why does he look so much like fucking Normal-sized Hagrid.
You're a policeman, Harry. She goes up and I think batons him. And doesn't tase him yet, but batons him, takes his ass to holding. And this is important because at the very beginning, Sergeant Cohen said, "Don't go back to holding. You do not need to go back there." And that was foreshadowing, obviously, but she did it. And it has consequences. There's setup and there's payoff for holding. And I thought that was really good. But yeah, just shoves his ass in, and then the door closes behind her. And then our turn happens.
And this is kind of where we thought the turn was. And yeah, okay. Sage just brought up a point that I was about to say. I thought we were going to get payoff for why that dude was looking through evidence and shit. We didn't.
Well, here's the thing. The movie has a very cleverly built-in logic. Is the homeless dude even real? Or was it just an excuse to get her into holding and to tempt her and to be, are you going to turn into the cop that you don't want to be? Are you going, because when she's reciting her oath to herself, it's, I'm going to protect the innocent. I'm going to be aware of the welfare of others. And this building is constantly just fucking with her and tempting her. And I assume, other than Cohen, that everything she encounters in this film is not real. And it's just a hallucination.
Also, just Aid, who anyone listening to this podcast assumes is a silent ghost.
Right. So she gets locked in holding, and the lights go out, and there's voices on either side, and she drops her flashlight, and it gets picked up, and she's talking to what she assumes, and we assume, is the homeless guy holding it up. It's not him. He's in the corner. Something else is in there with them.
It's actually another great shot in this film I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
She assumes it's the homeless guy. We assume it's the homeless guy. She's talking to whoever's pointing the flashlight at her, and then she looks over at the homeless guy, and he's still just fucking unconscious on the ground.
Because she tased him prior to get him into the
flashlight up.
I would be very happy if this was just Cohen fucking with her the entire time.
Yes.
It's her first shift, but his last shift, and he's just like, I'm gonna mess with the rookie. From 10 to 4.
I'm gonna bang on all the lockers. You'll never beat me in a fight, lockers.
Yeah.
Yeah, is not the homeless dude. And I was, oh, shit.
Oh, damn, this movie's good. Okay.
Then whoever's holding the flashlight, we hear a little bit of a female voice who's saying, I don't remember the specifics of this.
It's just, it alternates between I'm scared, oh my god, and then it becomes more sinister of, hey, I'm gonna kill you. Do you want to get out of here alive? Which makes more sense later on when we have more reveals. But it's a disembodied voice, again, toying with her.
Yeah. So eventually, I think flashlight drops and she picks it up, and we get kind of a little jump scare shot of some kind of monster wearing a hood on their head.
Yeah.
The door to the room unlocks, and she's out of the holding cell, and she just leaves normal-sized Hagrid in the room. She gives Officer Cohen a call. And she's, hey, this building is haunted. It is haunted times. There are ghosts, and this is haunted. It's not actually what she says. She says she thinks she's seeing things.
Oh.
And Officer Cohen says, well, if you're not cut out for this job, maybe you should just hand in your resignation. I thought you were a good cop. Your dad was. And she's, no, I'm a good cop. My dad is. And I'll see you at next shift.
And again, that probably wasn't Cohen. She probably didn't even call Cohen.
Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't.
Could be.
There is no goddamn way of telling, really.
Nah, with this movie, the way it's set up, maybe not. But
I am saying it right now. I'm watching this movie again after this recording.
Yeah, it's definitely got rewatch value. I don't know if we want to cut back to it, but when she calls Cohen and he's just, what? It's just immediately not here for this call. Is the building on fire? No. Are you in trouble? No. Then why are you calling me? Because he had previously said, if you need help, call me. And that's why I think it wasn't even Cohen. I think it was just the building fucking with her. But oh man, we had so many good Cohen jokes.
Oh yeah, that's interesting, and yeah, it one of the reasons I want to rewatch this movie. Owen and his blonde mustache.
Love Cohen.
So yeah, Officer Lauren was understandably freaked the fuck out by what happened, but she calls Officer Cohen, and Officer Cohen's at her, and she's nope, I'm fine. You know what? I'm a police officer, and I will handle this. So then she hears a noise and goes out to investigate, and this is when we meet. Pardon me. I wish we got a running burp counter for this series.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
Because we are very unapologetic about burping on mic on this
No,
show.
this show is movie reviews and drinking. There's gonna be burps. Make no apologies for that.
I have listened back to the 3 episodes that are out now as of this recording, and it tickles me a little every single time we burp on mic.
Yeah.
So Officer Lauren goes outside, and there is presumably a prostitute outside.
Don't know if this is a ghost prostitute. It's hard to tell because prostitute exists purely for exposition dump.
You're getting exactly to the point I was wondering. Was she real or was she a ghost?
I don't know because she's out back and she's just hanging out there, kind of. You know what? I don't know because okay, if she's a streetwalker, you need to be on the street at a corner. She is away from the street.
I am erring on the side of ghost.
Yeah.
For, our prostitute, whose name is Marigold. Officer Lauren goes out back of the police station, and there is Marigold having a cigarette. And Officer Lauren is just, hey, you can't be doing what you're doing out here. And she's just, okay, is it cool if I finish my cigarette? And Officer Lauren is, yeah, okay, whatever. And then Marigold says, hey, I was here the night it happened, and tells the story of Brain.
The Payman family cult murders.
The Payman family, who are the Mansons, and how they all hung themselves in their cells.
Oh god, there's a lot because it's an exposition dump, I said, but there was a Manson-esque family
this
cult.
This is 100% the biggest exposition dump we get in the film.
And I remember myself saying, I don't like that dump, but I also don't know where else you would communicate this information with the way the film's set up, so whatever. Yeah. But basically, there was the Paymans, and they had a ranch where they were killing young girls. They get arrested. Everyone thought that they all got killed on the scene, but the police kind of kept that hush-hush, brought the members back to this very precinct that Jessica is in, and they hung themselves in the precinct by their bed sheets. And they were singing a song, and there was a lot of screaming, there was evil everywhere, blah, blah, blah. And then the prostitute promptly leaves. And we don't get oh my god, she was there, and then she's not. She just leaves. So who knows if it's ghost prostitute? Oh no. Don't know with this movie.
I'm still erring on the side of ghost, but again, I'm gonna watch this again.
Mm-hmm.
For her to have such specific details about what's going on, I'm really, really erring on the side of her being a ghost.
And she has a comical Southern accent that no one else in the movie has.
Yes, it is. It is ridiculous. She might as well have said, "I do declare I have the vapors."
I was here when those ruffians were brought into the precinct.
So from there, Marigold leaves, and Officer Lauren goes back inside, and she passes by a room where there's static on the TV.
And then Samara's gonna hop out.
Yeah. Samara, we mean Cohen, dressed like a Japanese lady ghost.
Hey, rookie, I'm from the ring. I'm gonna pop out the TV.
And it's not the room, the ring. The room.
The room.
Wow. Drunk.
I didn't kill everybody. I didn't.
I did not haunt you. I did not.
Oh, hi, Cohen.
Sorry.
Everybody prank call me. I fed up with this job.
Okay. So walks past the room where there's a TV that has a bunch of static on the TV. And it's not the ring static. Instead, the TV starts playing what seems to be recordings of the interviews with the Payman cult, whose head is, can't remember his name, but
John
he's
Michael
the
Payman.
namesake. John Michael Payman, who is the head of the Payman family cult. So it's interviewing him and two of his female cultists. He seems to the pretty ladies for his cult.
Yes. This is where the film, I think, should be completely not in there.
Yeah, it was in danger of losing me at this point.
Because him appearing on a TV under heavy static, that's fine. Because at that point, it still feels the building is messing with her. But then we breach the fourth wall and kind of go, we're seeing the actual interrogation rooms, and he's saying a bunch of edgelordy stuff, and it just gets layered on top of itself, and then it zooms out, and then it's, you know, her perspective again, and I'm like, we didn't need that. We already got an exposition dump. We don't also need him talking about how he's, you know, the true servant of the actual devil and threat. I get that it does communicate at this point that anyone that he sets his eyes on, he will make them pay, he will make their descendants pay, and that does come back, so there is internal logic. But that could have just been communicated briefly through him, through a staticky TV, to her, and that's it. But it feels filler. We just have this very early aughts, you know, edgelordy, I worship the devil interview. It's just, it didn't need to be in there.
You say edgelordy, and we arrived at this, I think, at this point, and then around the end of this movie. If this movie was directed by an edgy 15-year-old, every bit of it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have more words about that.
And that is not a negative review. What edgy teenager made this movie?
Because I kind of want to buy them a beer. I'm sure they're not a teenager anymore. No. Because we were the same when we were that age. But and I have more words about that. But we'll get to that.
We also get something from two of his attractive female cultists. One of them talks about how pretty she is. One of them, while talking about John Michael Payman, fucking smashes her face against the table and breaks her nose.
Haha, cool.
And it's fine.
She says, if you beat someone with a baseball bat, they don't even look human anymore. The human body has so much blood in it.
all I could think about while watching this was from the perspective of the actors, and this is actors making a fucking meal out of the instruction they've been giving.
Yeah. This didn't need to be in the movie, in my opinion, but whatever.
It didn't need to be, but it didn't ruin it entirely. I was still on board after this point.
Because we do get back to Jessica.
Yep, we get back to Officer Lauren. Okay, right after the video cuts out, there are chairs.
There are chairs. There's chairs in the room she's in. And yeah, they're being possessed and being thrown around.
And I think the reason the interrogation scenes didn't take us entirely out of the scene is while the chairs are being thrown around, we kind of get glimpses of someone sitting in the chair wearing the hood, the cultist hood or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's pretty well done.
It is. I don't think there's really much of a jump scare in this movie, and I really appreciate that. It's just things are in the background, and they mean things.
No real, and then one of the chairs just fucking hockey checks her.
Which is fine, and it was much better than the weird interrogation footage we had immediately prior.
Yeah, she gets hockey checked by one of the chairs and gets knocked over. Before she has time to even think about reacting to what just happened, she hears the phone ringing in the other room, and she goes to answer the phone, and hey, it's Monica again. And this time, Monica, I think, gives a last name.
Young.
Yeah, Monica Young. So Monica gives her last name, and Officer Lauren is trying to instruct her to get away from there as fast as she... Something to that extent.
Something. We have numerous Monica calls, and they kind of don't mean anything after a while.
Calls, and I'm trying to keep straight which details get revealed in which Monica call. But
it doesn't...
I think this is just where Monica gives her last name.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter until the last call. But
so yeah. Officer Lauren calls dispatch again and says, "Hey, I got her last name." So they know that, and they're looking into it. as much as they can. They're looking for the place with all the salad. Anyway.
And then Officer Stripper shows up.
Before we get Officer Stripper, real quick, we
yeah.
do get an encounter with who I assume is the main villain of the film. After Officer Lauren got hockey checked by chairs, she hears a noise and goes to another room, which you're gonna notice is a recurring theme of this film. This time, she hears a noise and goes to the room and sees a bunch of chairs in the room. And she turns her head and looks back, and the chairs have all piled on top of each other to become the chair god.
Oh god, chairs.
Oh god, more chairs. Ah!
Ah!
They're forming an alliance.
And even she is, okay, I'm being fucked with. Come on out. Is this how you treat rookies?
Yes, okay. Yeah, this is actually kind of the only relatable pro-tag moment.
Yeah.
There's a lot of relatable pro-tag moment, but as far as horror films go, there's a moment where she's just, all right, you're all fucking with me, aren't you? Okay, this is how you fuck with the rookies. I get it. Ha. And if this is how any business fucked with new people, it would be my favorite business.
It's, oh boy. So she goes and she shoves the chairs over, which is great.
Chairs will not take this lightly.
You've offended them and their god. But goes back to the front, and lo and behold, an officer shows up.
Oh, we also, throughout the movie, we assumed that all the fucking with her going on was Officer Cohen.
Oh yeah, because Cohen's a basket case, and I love him. And yeah, we were assuming Cohen was just fucking with her the entire time.
So then we get a police officer showing up, and we're assuming it's to check on her because she's made several calls to dispatch that have been, hey, some shit's going down.
Well, he says as much of, hey, I'm here to check on you.
Yeah, and she is immediately confrontational. Huh? Is this what you do? This is what you fuck with new people? And he's like, no, I'm just here to check on you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And this officer, Officer Price, we assumed was a male stripper.
He just had all the energy and presentation of a stripper. I'm not actually a policeman, I'm a stripper. This is a... The stripper get there yet?
Do the right to remain sexy. Not a bad looking dude.
No.
But he's very reassuring from the moment he shows up, and he's just going to check on you, and they kind of flirt a little bit too.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and he says he was there on the night that the Payman family fucking wild, which is also the night when her dad was killed.
And this is the point in the movie where you connect a lot of dots, not just about the story, but a lot of the themes. Her dad was killed on the job, saving the girls who were abducted by the Payman cult, and multiple officers were killed in the exchange. He also talks about the fact that after the Payman cult hung themselves in the building, shit just started getting weird, and the place was haunted, and they begged and pled to just get a new building, and that's why this building is on its last shift. And in hindsight, probably should have guessed that he wasn't real, but he says...
actually, we kind of called it.
Did we? I don't even remember. Oh, no, you're right, we
absolutely
did.
Right after he told the story, we were... Anyway, you're a ghost.
You're a fucking ghost. Yeah. Are you a figment?
Anyway, I'm also a ghost. Oh, yep.
Damn.
All right.
Well, we were right. This place is fucking with you. I love it. Then in a very, very great shot, he's like, hey, well, call me. I'll come by anytime. Turns around, giant gaping hole in the back of his head where he was shot. And leaves, goes behind a wall, does not emerge from the other side. Not real. And it was very, very well done because this is kind of the only stress-relieving moment this entire film has. And then it just ends with, nope, you're in Silent Hill. And it really,
100% in Silent Hill.
And really, in Silent Hill, not to explain an entire franchise, but Silent Hill, what you experience in Silent Hill, you bring in with you. And Jessica has a lot of feelings and angst and existential crises about, that her father was taken from her too soon, and it was in the line of duty, and she wants to be a cop, but her mom's saying, no, that's how your father died. Why would you also do this? A lot of the conversation she has with her mother in the very beginning comes back. It's a very, very powerful, well constructed moment in the film. Probably, if I had to, be a film critic about this shit, I would say this is the best part of the film, but a lot gets revealed. And we were very, very on board with the film at this point.
Yes. So yes, I was 100% okay. I get this. I'm in.
I don't want to super scene by scene this, but just more happens. We get more Monica calls. We get more spooky shit happening. I really want people to watch this. I don't want to give away everything. The next important thing that happens is a dispatch from the active office calls and says, that Monica you keep talking about, she's been dead for a year. Literally, you're getting called by someone pranking you. Something's up, but you're talking to a ghost. We have more interesting footage, more scenes. I could visit this next point. I don't want to. I really want people to watch this. But the important thing is it all kind of comes to a head and people break into the precinct, and she finally, after all this, has to take out her gun and has to start shooting people and defending herself. Actually, okay, before that, there's one thing before that.
We did not adequately explain a team coming in.
Yeah.
That is important.
Yeah, I guess we have to back up.
The reason she is still on site and not a regular security guard is because a hazmat team is supposed to come to the site and dispose of
all the evidence
that they have left over that is gross.
Yeah. It's gross shit that no one wants. There is one scene. I guess we have to talk about this. Basically, she hallucinates and gets knocked out by a baton and wakes up in an interrogation room on the other side. And one of the former cult members is being, I'm crazy and we're devoted to things. And you don't know if I'm real or not, blah, 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 blah. And has her gun and shoots herself in the head. And a bunch of stuff happens. But she,
I think that really happened.
A former member of the payment cult shot herself?
If we're delineating between the things that happened and didn't happen in this film, I think maybe that might have actually happened.
Well, because every other bullet she shoots up until the end is a ghost bullet. So that's the thing. Yeah, it happens and there's blood all over it. And she takes the bloody gun and carries it with her and it still has blood on it. But everything that happens inside this building is suspicious. You can't trust it. Maybe that did, but the cult member who shot herself looks the same as she did the day all this shit went down. So I still think that's a ghost. I don't know. Really, with this film, you do not know. But that all happens, and then people break in, and they don't even seem like cult members. They seem like people who just want to continue the cult, and they want to perpetuate what was happening. And she just starts lighting them up. And immediately we were, oh no.
I know where this is about to go.
Oh, are the bio people going to show up and she's going to accidentally shoot them?
That's my guess.
I hope not. I'm rooting for our girl here. Oh no.
No, yep, I think that's exactly what's happening.
Oh boy. She's shooting the bio hazmat team. Yeah, we weren't happy about it because we're, oh no, we want you to do, we want your shift to go fine. We don't want you to end up this. And yeah, spoilers, but she hallucinated, she went crazy, and she just started shooting the hazmat team.
Of course, we finally decide we like a protagonist when this shit happens.
Yeah. There is a lot of tragedy in here, and it's very well earned. But at the end, she shoots a dude who she thought was a cult member, and then she gets shot, and it's Sergeant Cohen. She's, what happened? And she turns, and it's a dude in a hazmat suit.
Fucking Cohen.
He starts calling in help, officer down. God, yeah. It's just, it ends with this. Jessica is a tragic character. She got caught up in, this is my interpretation, of course, but she got caught up in the idea of her father and what her father went through. And maybe she has some vengeance in her that she wants to exercise. And this is what she's taking into Silent Hell House. And it's just kind of this thing of, you can't avenge your dad. What happened, happened. What exactly are you looking for? But then it's kind of offset with this weird, the cult people are actually demons and they've been manipulating her. And at the end, they're, yeah, now you're one of us type of thing. And that's where I'm conflicted about the movie.
Yeah. Okay, we had just reached the end of the film.
Mm-hmm. We're
And
kind
now
of in
we're
the
going to get
discussion
into-
phase. Yeah.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. The ending of this movie should have been setting up the final 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah.
I think her realizing she killed those hazmat dudes and Officer Cohen showing up and taking a shot at her. I think maybe Officer Cohen shows up a little later and her realizing she killed those hazmat dudes should have led into more movie.
It could have. However,
Could have, but I'm curious to hear what you think.
the problem is they leaned in Act 3, they leaned so much into there's a cult, and they say that we're not Satan worshippers, we're cooler than that. We're not like other Satan worshippers. But there's so much about how they possessed everything and they haunt this, and they're gonna come after everyone and their families and everything they love and all this stuff. So you can't not have them appearing to her after she's dead with goofy contact lenses and fake filed down teeth and just all this stuff. All this just extra stuff that they don't need to put this unnecessary hat on a hat. They could have done that, but
Yeah.
the problem is there's just too much extra crap in there that shouldn't have been. And I don't know if I've ever done my Sinister rant on the podcast. I've definitely done it on other podcasts we've done, but to be very brief, Sinister is one of my favorite horror movies.
We had discussed it. You were gonna get to it eventually.
Yeah, Sinister. Half of that movie is a really, really good grounded horror movie of a crime author, a true crime author, just plumbing the depths of his profession and getting really too deep into it and depressed and alcoholic and neglecting his family and going crazy because he finally finds this 8mm footage that is just horrific and he can't take it. And it's a wonderful depiction of a spiral, a downward spiral. And the other half of that movie is Bagul. So that's kind of what
Bagul.
that's what the end of this movie is. It's not as bad as Sinister in that respect, but there is just like you didn't need to do that. This movie was horrific and tense enough without everything extra added in. And the ending, well, I'm going to say right now, this movie, people should watch this movie. There is that element to it. I wish it wasn't in there, but, you know, it's not so much of a detractor to sour the rest of it.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I think her getting shot up was disappointing, but it made sense. But from the moment we get the shot of sharp-fanged Payman with his sexy cultist ladies, I think,
I was expecting
maybe not.
the credit to cut and just hear Down with the Sickness. It really felt that.
Yeah.
This was a 2015 film that felt we were back in 02. In looking up other stuff about this movie, the posters, some of them are The Last Shift, and there's a girl climbing on a wall, and there's a pentagram in the back. I'm like, that's not what the movie is about for 95% of it. This is terrible advertising. But if I had saw that, I wouldn't fucking watch this movie. So it probably feels studio meddling or maybe something of just going, no, you need to have a satanic cult in it. Yeah, but I want to tell a story about a person's last shift and their obsession with their dad and, you know, all these interesting themes. No, there's got to be a satanic cult in it. Like, okay, we'll work that in. Yeah, you know, it happens. Okay. But we're keeping Sergeant Cohen.
Yes.
I love Sergeant Cohen so much.
You can't take that blonde mustached wonder out of the film.
Unless you've got more to discuss, I think we can move to the drink of the movie.
I think so, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
I got to think about this.
Hmm.
Okay. This is a tough one.
What's a drink that starts out promising but ends kind of disappointingly?
It has to be a drink that you take a long time to finish, because this is the last shift. This is a long 10 to 4, man. It's not a fun work shift. It's late. You had to sleep all day to even be awake enough to finish this shit. So it's just got to be something you got to power through. And that doesn't sound like a fun drink. That's the problem. You know what?
Okay. I want this to be a good drink.
Same.
Overall, my opinion of this film is positive.
It was good. It's a good movie. Gosh, I don't know.
I am deep in the weeds here. I Googled signature cop drink.
Oh no.
And I am now looking at a link called 7 Recipes, 7 Drinks for the True American Patriot.
Oh no. Okay,
Oh
okay,
no.
okay. What about we might be thinking about this the wrong way. This isn't a drink, this is a marathon. So what if it was a
Okay.
alternate on the Four Horsemen or something?
All right. Okay. All right. I can do something with that.
Yeah.
You need 3 really pleasant liquors that work well together. An ending that is just really disappointing.
Okay, so it's bourbon, whiskey, scotch, tequila. Bourbon, it's a good bourbon. A nice bourbon. I've had a bunch, but of course it was all at this amazing barbecue joint that is in Northern California, and I can't go there anymore. It's a good bourbon.
If we're talking good bourbon, I always go with Woodford Reserve.
Yeah. No, I'll agree with that. So Woodford for the bourbon. Whiskey.
Do we want a good whiskey or
Yeah,
a
no.
good scotch?
We want a
or-
good whiskey. We'll do a good whiskey and a good scotch. And I can definitely supply the scotch. But the good whiskey,
Hmm.
we could do a Bushmills.
Ooh, that is a good call.
Yeah, yeah. So Bushmills for the scotch. For the whiskey, sorry. Scotch, I'm definitely going to have to bring in my favorite, which is Lefroy. Very peaty.
Love Lefroy.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite scotch of all damn time. Really good shit.
And then at the end, you just get some fucking Jose Cuervo swill.
Yeah, fuck it. Just Jose Cuervo Gold. Just some disappointing tequila. And I know in some versions you pour all the Four Horsemen together. Nah, do this one at a time. Savor the first 3. Really think about it. You know, you're enjoying yourself. You're out with friends. Maybe even have a glass of water in between each of them so you're not destroyed. And then just shoot that Cuervo and think about your life. And think about your choices. And that's it. What do we want to call this?
And that's it.
Just call it the last shot.
The last shot.
The last shot.
That's perfect.
I love it. No, this is great.
I dig it. I don't know if I'd ever do that to myself. Probably.
Nah, I would.
It'd be an expensive first couple.
This would have to be, we're partying. We're going to have a long night. We've lined our stomach with some food. And we're probably not going to do much else after that. But hey, we're going to do the last shot and make an event out of it. But yeah, no, this is not just something I would do unsolicited. Oh,
Okay, that's the last shot, everybody, and that was the last shift. And I've kind of got a list going now on Google Docs of movies we bring up that we recommend, but also movies we watch on the show that we recommend. And I recommend this.
Yeah, me too. It's got some flaws, but overall, it's a good, captivating piece. It keeps your attention. There was no real downtime in this film that I felt. There's one kind of weird stop, just please stop, but it gets back to the action fairly quickly. And I recommend this.
Okay. Well, that being said, I've got about half a rum and coke left here in my hand. I think I'm just gonna down the rest of this motherfucker.
Woo! I'm out of alcohol. I have to go get more. Oh, well.
And from there, I think for the most part, we can call that an episode.
Absolutely. Thank you for all of your support. Continue to hit us with questions, with movie recommendations. Use the hashtag Jaymeson tapes to spread that shit around. And thank you for joining.
And if you've got any questions you want to ask us, doesn't even have to be about any of the movies we're watching. Could be about drinks. It just could be about other movies. If you want to shoot those to us, go right ahead.
Please do.
Any excuse you can give us to hang out and have a few cocktails together, and we will take it.
Well worth it.
Anyway, do you want to watch the Poughkeepsie tapes next time?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, probably.
Anyway, bye.
The Jaymeson Tapes is hosted and created by Alan Cheney and Abysmii. If you have a movie suggestion for the podcast, please leave a comment, message us on the Creative Horror Discord, or tweet at Creative Horror with the hashtag Jaymeson Tapes. Creative Horror is a network of creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. Please visit us at creativehorror.com.